Hello, everyone. Shit. I dropped my phone. Great. I dropped my phone at the beginning of this stream. Great. Just great. Alright, I'm not gonna worry about it too much though. Um, I'm just gonna send out a couple of things before we get started here on the stream because I want mostly everybody to check that out. Live. There we go. I think I got it. All right. And I think that's possibly all. All right. Okay, I'm gonna start out with the welcome message. Welcome everyone to the stream. Welcome to the stream. So welcome everyone to the stream. For anybody um who's just getting here, I know I started a bit late. Um, and I know I'm very late when it comes to streams, but I'm here now though. I just want to make sure everybody is comfortable, and I want to make sure everyone will have a good time here. So, if anyone wants to come and say something to the chat or anything, you can go ahead and do that. We're doing well. Tonight. So, um, yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I did post a lot of things during the week for you guys to check out. I did just not too long ago post a TikTok on the PlayStation consoles, and and on YouTube Shorts like a couple days ago, and on Instagram Reels as well. So if you guys could check that out. Yeah, I had some new content planned out for the week. So but yeah, you guys will be getting new content this week as well. I've been trying to stick to so um yeah, I've been making new content this week. You know, I've been doing reels mostly. I done a new post here on Instagram as well. But like I said, you know, is coming to every single major platform. I haven't posted a lot on YouTube yet, just on YouTube Shorts mostly, because well, those are kind of the easiest to do. But you'll get brand new long form video starting probably this week, and if you guys haven't seen my stories, please go check them out. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. That's where you're gonna find the latest stories, and also on Snapchat. But I don't really use Snapchat a lot, but I'll try to get active on it. But um, yeah, if you haven't checked out my recent stories throughout the week, then that's how it's gonna be. Um, Sorry if I don't have my microphone close to me. So, but like I said, yeah, go check out the recent stories that I've done, um, all that type of stuff. That I'll be posting content maybe at least like a couple times a week, 3 to 4 times a week on social media, which is Instagram, Facebook. I basically the platforms that are not YouTube, but I'll try to do a YouTube video this week, um, and I got a request some from a person. You know who you are, the one who sent the request for me to do the Super Mario 64 DS review. I'm working on that. I'm really working on it. Um, I still gotta do the research part, and I still gotta do the scripting and do filming and do some editing and do the thumbnail for the video. But it's gonna take quite a long time to do. But I will get on it as soon as I can, cause you know the videos do take kind of long. The long form videos actually do take a long time, and judging from my other videos that I've done that are long form content, yeah, they take quite a long time to do. So you might have to wait a little bit. I will probably have an estimated date for the Super Mario 64 review, the Super Mario 64 DS review. Um, I I'm gonna be quite certain that this review will be going up on on Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon probably, depending, cuz you know, it takes long to do these videos, um and you know, I got a lot of free time on my hands, but uh definitely definitely maybe on Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon. Probably more likely Tuesday afternoon. The Super Mario 64 DS review will be out, but I might not be so sure. So I just gotta do a few things with it and gotta work hard on it and just hope for the best on the review and hope I don't mess up on the review. So um yeah, that review will be coming soon, and thank you to the person who requested the video. for me to make this video because I wanted to try like to do more reviews in the future, and I really just want to branch into reviews, maybe into like gaming news, kind of like just like a journalism sort of thing, but you know uh I feel like doing these is kind of fun to do, and I would love to do a new game to put on, and I would love to do a new review and just kind of see what ideas you guys can give me. Um, that's all I can say. But what but after the Super Mario 64 review, uh, thank you again to the person who suggested that review. Um, I want to kind of hear your guys' input and see what types of video game videos did you want me to do uh, after the review, since I really would love to see your guys' suggestions, and I would love to see what you guys come up with. And these can be really short, these can be shorts videos, these can be long form videos, you know anything of that sort. Uh Something that can give like like something that where you guys tell me what you want, and I will do that for you, since I'm one of those people that that wants to make sure that you guys are satisfied with the content that I'm providing. So I just hope you guys can give me kind of suggestions of what videos you guys want me to do after the Super Mario 64 DS review that I'm gonna do here on Tuesday of this week. Gosh. So, other things pertaining to me, so what I am going to talk about mainly is the PlayStation. So I know that the last stream regarding PlayStation was not really that good, and for things that I apologize for the things that probably didn't make sense in the stream. In the last stream that I did 4 days ago, and I'm sorry about that, and I know you guys couldn't understand what I was saying, and you couldn't really grasp on what I was doing, and I'm sorry for that. I didn't really know what I was doing, and to be honest, I feel like the stream that I did on Tuesday was more of a test stream than anything, and just to kind of get a feel of what I want the streams to kind of look like. So I'm sorry if the last stream on Tuesday didn't make any sense to any of you, and I'll try harder next time to kind of prepare ahead of time, to make sure that you guys get a good and fun stream, and we can talk and we can chat about all the things that pertain to gaming. So I just want to kind of apologize real quick about what happened on November 1st, that I did a live stream and I was kind of going on a tangent. So I'm kind of sorry that had to happen, and I'll try to prepare myself ahead of time for these streams, since you know I love doing these streams. And when I saw the stream, um, the last stream on Tuesday, like when I saw the stream after I live streamed it, it was horrible. It was actually quite bad. But I'll try to prepare myself for the future and try to come up with different topics to kind of discuss on these streams a little bit, since I do want to kind of go into gaming industry territory, and maybe talk about a little bit more about the gaming industry and what's happened during it, um, and about everything pertaining to gaming, like PlayStation, Sony, maybe Nintendo, Microsoft, big companies, or just like a specific game, some things like that. That's what I'm gonna try to kind of do on these streams. But I'll try to prepare myself for this ahead of time, so I don't go on a tangent like I did on Tuesdays. So, um, yeah, and I apologize for any confusion on Tuesday. So, first, I just want to kind of address PlayStation a little bit. And, I know I said this like in the last stream. I said this in the last stream pertaining to PlayStation, but you gotta admit, I'm gonna take a little bit of sense of I want to take a little bit of time to kind of discuss this, and I want you guys to hear me out on this. Um, so considering that the console wars have gone on for a long time, and over the last maybe like 9 generations, like now we're like in generation 9, but like for the last 8 generations we have gone through maybe about 8 console wars in the time of the gaming industry. And Sony didn't come around until like the 1990s, like 94ish. And when 94 hit, and the the three biggest consoles at the time were the Sega Saturn, the Nintendo 64, and the PlayStation 1. PlayStation has always come out on top, and I believe I got this comment on Instagram for the person um who commented on my reel on Instagram. Thank you for that. And he kind of said one thing that kind of struck me a little bit, that you know that that I really didn't realize. And that one thing being that Sony has always been victorious. And considering that Sony has always been victorious in every single console war since the 1990s, um, he said one thing that kind of struck me, and I want to kind of point this out. So, he said that the that that how Sony got victorious was the games. And I gotta sympathize with you guys on this one. That yes, it was the games that kind of struck a little bit of ways in Sony. Yeah, like 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 you get it. Like this, like Sony came out on top, and the biggest reason he gave for that, when he commented to me on my reel, he said the games were kind of the bread and butter of Sony winning the console war, and I kind of do sympathize with that um, since Sony has always been about the games, and every single game company has been that way, and including Nintendo. But what I want to point out here is that Sony is like a company that produces great games, and listen, you know Sony produces great consoles, and at the end of the day, the games are where it's at, and um, with the multiple different series that they got, like Gears of War, uh, uh, Grand Theft Auto, the Battlefield series, a lot of these different games, Resident Evil games, I think, or maybe that's Xbox, I'm not too sure, but a lot of these different franchises, a lot of these different series, Sony has got them all. The Skyrim, even though Skyrim was kind of a disaster, but to be honest, I think Skyrim was good in a sense, even though during its first days didn't do so well. But besides the point, Sony is always probably the one that always gets kind of the good games that everybody kind of enjoys. The trip the AAA titles like Call of Duty, um, the Grand Theft Auto series, like I just said before, Battlefield, like I said before, all of those games. And considering that a lot of these franchises, a lot of these games have mostly came from Sony a lot of the time, it's no wonder why Sony has been super popular lately. And considering that every console that they release gets maybe like a few upgrades like every time they release the consoles, it's no wonder why games run well on it, why games are successful on it, because the hardware as well dominates from the other two. Even though Xbox has done a lot of great things with the Xbox Series X, but like I said though, you know, Sony is always gonna come out on top. And for every console war since the 1990s, I'm actually quite impressed on what has been good for. That's something that I never really realized at all. That's something that I wouldn't have realized at all. It's pretty evident when you think about it, and Sony has always come out on top. It's something that not any other company could probably do. And yes, I know there's great games in the other two big giants like Nintendo as Mario and and Legend of Zelda and stuff like that. But and also Xbox has like a bunch of different series with Sony as well, including like the ones that Sony has gotten. But you gotta admit, Sony for probably almost everybody is probably the top tier console, because it's got a lot of great things and it did a lot of things right. And for a slew of consoles that came out in maybe like from the start of that came out that just started out as probably an idea that was probably put on paper, you know, it came into reality. And PlayStation has been great in many aspects. Even though I haven't played the other consoles, I played PS2 and I played PS3. I haven't touched a PS1 yet. But, a PS1, honestly, I have yet to get a PS1. You know, it's one of those consoles that I kind of refer back to now and again, since I really do enjoy retro gaming. For me as well, I do really enjoy retro gaming, um it's part of the retro gaming space. And it's not that old of a console really, even though it's like from 1994ish. So you can say it's a little old, but I still think it's really good as a console. And the PS2 improved many things from the PS1, and just every single console after that improved every single thing about PlayStation consoles in general. And the PS2 had DVD drive, and the PS3 supported like Blu-ray and stuff like that, and the PS4 I probably think did the same thing, but I think it focused more on the game side than anything. But like I said though, you know, every console since then has gotten quite a bit of improvements, and just by looking at the different consoles that have been around quite a while, it's no wonder that people love these consoles even to this day. And I can get why it's very popular amongst the gamer demographic, and I can understand why most people would probably switch to Sony if they were not given any other choice. You know, I know I love Nintendo, and many people do love Nintendo as well, and I I do as well. But thinking, just thinking logically though, that PlayStation would get so big to the point where they would have many of these improvements, and some things have gone so well, then it's no wonder why a lot of these consoles have been really well. So I want to kind of address the question. So um I don't know if the stream is getting kind of boring, but I'm gonna ask a question here anyways, and I'm gonna put it on the chat here too. But I want to ask you guys this question, okay? And um, this question is pertaining to PlayStation, and honestly, I feel like I I feel as though PlayStation, I said that it's come out on top, but um, I know I said it's come out on top, but to be honest here, um, I just want to kind of take a brief moment and kind of just like ask this question. So here's the question. So if you had to pick, so let's see here. Let me see how I can do this question without without screwing up. Um, so I kind of just want to know, you guys. I just kind of want to know what's your favorite PlayStation console out of the 5 consoles that have come out. Out of the 5 consoles that have come out, and what I just want to kind of know what is your favorite PlayStation console? You know, from the first one to the fifth one, and you can pick any one of those consoles, and you can kind of give me a reason as to why, because I would love to hear your guys' response to this, and and just as kind of a way, I just wanna kind of know what your guys' uh, favorite PlayStation console is, and I'll answer this question too. Don't worry, I'll answer this question too. So yeah, I kind of wanna know your guys' opinion on this. Like, what is your favorite PlayStation console? And there's 5 released already. The PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the most recent one, PlayStation 5. And I want to kind of get your opinion, and I'm gonna say mine, since I want to answer this question too. So my favorite PlayStation console out of the 5 consoles that I've kind of looked at, out of the 5 consoles that I have played, the 5 consoles that I have played, and considering that there's only 5 consoles in the PlayStation lineup, you know, uh, out of those 5 consoles, I would have to say maybe PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3 for me was pretty good, and I kind of liked how the interface is, considering that the PlayStation 3 console kind of did things that the PlayStation 2 is kind of missing, and it did improve a lot of things from it, and you know it still had the basic things were in the that was in the PlayStation 2 console to begin with, and you know they took it upon themselves to release a console with they took it upon themselves to release a console, and it flopped in the first time it released, but The PlayStation 3, it's always going to hold a special place in my heart, honestly. And with all the great games that it had and a lot of things that came about it, just a lot of different things that just it just came back to me. You know, PS3 for me it was a time where I kind of got introduced to the PlayStation lineup, and PlayStation 3 was like my literal first first uh experience with the PlayStation. And PlayStation has always been so great. And from the jump up to PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3, it's always gonna be great. It's always gonna have a special place in my heart. And a lot of people seem to like the PlayStation 3 as well. And I know a lot of people do love the PlayStation 2 as well, but PlayStation 3 for me was pretty good in its time. And there were a lot of games released for it, and I gotta say, a lot of the stuff that PlayStation 3 did, and from its predecessor, from its predecessor, the PlayStation 2, it did a lot of things right, and it did improve a lot of the things that its predecessor, the PlayStation 2, did. And it's something that a lot of a lot of consoles do get, but they just don't do it right. And it's it's kind of just surreal to think about. But I just wanted to point it out there. Okay, so speaking on the PlayStation 3 though, the PlayStation 3 launch though, oh my goodness. I think I have the video for it. The video I think I have for it. The video that I'm gonna post on here, I'm gonna post it in the chat here. Uh, if I can find it here on YouTube. I won't play any sound, and I won't show it here on the stream, but I'm going to find it. PS3 launch. It's so weird thinking about this now.
Grammarly has saved me so much.
Sorry. can just read this here. Okay. So I'm gonna send this link to you all, the YouTube link to the G4 PS3 launch event Megathon. I'm gonna send this link to everyone. It kind of does give a little bit of insight of what the PS3 launch is like. And I'm gonna actually do a little bit of research on the PS3 launch and kind of break it down for you guys if you guys would want that. But yeah, I just think it would be fun to do that. And I kind of want to bring kind of like I kind of want to kind of shed light on the misconceptions of the PS3 launch that it went so far, And there was another launch that had a lot of misconceptions. The Windows Vista launch. The Windows Vista launch. Even though I don't really talk a lot about computers on this channel, or operating systems for that matter, but the operating system Windows Vista, even though it was made to be the next step in Microsoft history, when it was slated to be the next big version of Windows, it got a lot of criticism, and many people probably until this day probably still probably despise Windows Vista because of how bad the reception was. And looking at kind of like the reviews and looking at kind of the videos that came out on Windows Vista, I gotta give it to you. When I watch those and when I look back at them, it kind of feels like Vista was kind of misunderstood, and I kind of do feel the same way when it comes to the PS3 launch. Even though I was not there at the time of release, and I was still like a little child at that time, but honestly, there is a lot of misconception between those things, and I compare it to Windows Vista since Vista did have a terrible reception when it did come out, so that's kind of why I compare this. I compare the Sony PS3 launch to the Windows Vista launch that happened back in the same year, like 06, 07, like 06, just uh, the way that it was presented, and just the way that people have misconstrued in the 2000s decade, just a lot of stuff. But if you think about it, those two things, Vista did at least, Vista kind of gained traction after like a few years, after like a few years of being out, it did gain some traction, but it was not enough, 2009, the Windows 7 came out. I don't know how everybody thought about that one, this Good Vista. But yeah, you can say that the PS3 did the same thing. The PS3. A lot of people were kind of hesitant to get the PS3 on launch day, and a lot of people were. but that doesn't excuse the fact, that doesn't realize the fact that that the PS3 at the beginning was so bad, but like over time it just got really, it just was good and good and good and good. It just got better. It just got real better. Considering that, for a terrible launch, it gained traction after that. So, and a lot of people do have a lot of nostalgia for it too. So that's kind of where I am on kind of the thing here. So yeah. Whew. This has been a long stream. It's going to be about 46 minutes long. So, I'm probably going to end this here, kind of just to kind of end the stream a little bit early. So, I don't want to be here for too long. So, if you guys have enjoyed this stream, don't forget to leave a like on the stream, and don't forget to comment on the topics that I've talked about. If you guys haven't caught on to the stream yet, I would suggest that you guys go to the comment section, as that is where I'm going to answer a lot of your questions regarding topics that I discussed today, or topics relating to the channel, or topics relating to other types of form of content that you guys want me to do. So, anyways, without further ado, you guys, I am gonna go out and expect a lot more content coming from me in this next week or so. So let's go on it. Let's do on it. So, anyways, thanks for watching.